In the top stories, STEP field supervisors sharpen organizational and leadership skills. Trinidad and Tobago Energy Minister clears up assumptions on trapped divers incident, and Ukrainian city of Kharkiv bombarded by Russia. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today's Tuesday, the 1st of March 2022. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, field supervisors of the Skills Training Empowerment Program, or STEP, community enhancement groups are receiving training that will help sharpen their organizational and leadership skills. The first two training meetings were held on Wednesday, February 9 at the Edgar Gilbert Sporting Complex Pavilion in Molyneux for groups from Keon to Sadlers, covering Zone 1 and Zone 2, and on Thursday, February 10, at the Newtown Playfield Pavilion for groups from Deep Bay to Newtown, covering Zone 3 and 4. The training continued the following week when supervisors of the STEP community enhancement groups from Keon to Sadlers came to the STEP offices on the Bay Road in Basse-Terre for further discussions as it relates to the training on Wednesday, February 16, and for the groups from Deep Bay to Newtown on Thursday, February 17. The training sessions, which will be held weekly, will continue on Wednesday, March 2 and Thursday, March 3 at the STEP Head Office Training Room on the Bay Road in downtown Basse-Terre. The International Firefighters Code of Ethics, which was developed by the National Society of Executive Fire Officers, serves to maintain the highest level of professionalism and behavior among fire officers on and off the job. That's according to Fire Substation Officer Rommel Williams during ZIZ Radio's Fire and Rescue Services program on Tuesday.
The purpose of this National Firefighter Code of Ethics is to establish criteria that encourage fire service personnel to promote a culture of ethical integrity and high standards of professionalism in our field. The broad scope of this recommended Code of Ethics is intended to mitigate and negate situations that may result in embarrassment and running of public support for what has historically been a high respected profession.
He added that these codes of ethics help to boost positive public perception, which assists fire officers in carrying out their duties. Williams outlined some of the responsibilities of fire officers.
Fighters, we need to understand that we have a responsibility to conduct, and not just firefighters, anybody who work and they represent an organization, we have a responsibility to conduct ourselves in a manner that reflects proper ethical behavior and integrity. In so doing, it will help foster continuing positive public perception, see right there, of the fire services, our police, our army, or whoever. So, we are always to conduct ourselves on or off duty in a manner that reflects positively on ourselves, our department, and the fire services in general. Avoid situations that would adversely affect the credibility or public perception of the fire service profession.
Fire Substation Officer Rommel Williams. Veteran backyard gardener Leroy Lewis is encouraging more persons to get involved in backyard gardening. Practicing backyard gardening for more than 20 years, Lewis grows several types of produce from sugar apple to pomegranate, coconut, and potatoes. For the past 2 years, he's been nurturing a grape tree that has stunned many in the community.
I stumbled across it by one guy giving me a little piece. It was about this long. He laid it and he gave me, so I just planted it and it started growing. So it started bearing about 6 months later. So I called the guy and trying to find out like what kind of grape they are. He said he don't know because he's never bear. And up to now, 2 years and 6 months later, he's having beer. So I don't know what is so special about this. I should say I think I know. Because I hang out in my hammock here all the time and sing to this thing. I think that's the reason why it's bearing so much. And it's still bearing. So all when the grapes gone dormant in American stuff, still bearing.
He said with the abundance of grapes, he's found other ways to use them to avoid wastage.
It's when it started to be so much, I say, look, I got to find out what I can do with this. And then I see that they make wine with this stuff. So I start making wine. I make 3 bottles the first time. And I give a few people and they think that is so good. So I just continue that.
Okay,
So that's what I do, I make wine.
He also encouraged more persons to get involved in backyard gardening.
No, I just like planting stuff. Anything I could get, I just plant it. To me, really into no big gardening stuff. I would plant 1 or 2 trees just in order for me to get something. And if I get more than enough, I give it to my neighbors. I think people should be doing this. Because I eat out of this yard every day for over 2 years now. Every day I eat something. If it's only a grape I have to come out and pick, I eat something that I grow every day. People should be doing that. People should be doing things like that.
And while Lewis's grape tree has caught the attention of many, he revealed that his most prized possession in his garden is his apple tree. He said he tried his luck for several years and had finally gotten the tree to grow after planting it on the first day of spring last year. We now move to news on the regional scene. Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Stuart Young, sought to clear up any assumptions in the public domain about what transpired last Friday that caused 5 divers to be trapped in a 30-inch pipeline. During a media conference on Monday morning, Minister Young said all resources were used to locate the 4 of the 5 divers who became trapped in the pipeline. Kimberly D'Souza of TTT News tells us more.
Minister of Energy and Energy Industries Stuart Young said works were being completed in a hyperbaric chamber on berth 6 before the unfortunate incident occurred, which trapped 5 divers in a pipeline just 1 mile offshore at Pointe-a-Pierre. The divers include Faisal Kurban, Rishi Nagasal, Youssef Henry, and Kazim Ali Jr. The 5th diver, Christopher Bujram, was the rescue diver of the team who was eventually saved. Minister Young said the chamber is meant to pump water out of the pipeline and creates an airspace for employees to complete work. Additionally, 2 flanges were installed in the chamber. The minister confirmed the pipeline connects to a riser at berth 5, which is in the shape of the letter U. The pipeline is 1,200 feet and runs parallel to the sea. He also confirmed that equipment, which included 2 rovers, was sent into the pipeline, but there was an obstruction which blocked the view on the equipment's camera.
From what we can gather at this stage, unfortunately, when the first one was removed, something took place that created a suction, sucking the 5 divers in from what was a air chamber into this 30-inch pipeline.
Minister Young said teams continue to work with external industry experts to get past the blockages and determine the best way to remove the men from the pipeline. The divers are employed with LMSC Limited, a San Fernando-based company that provides project management, engineering design inclusive of diving-related underwater services, and marine logistics support. Kimberly D'Souza, TTT News.
The Antigua and Barbuda government